Hey, Heather.
Hey, Steven.
You know what we should do?
What should we do?
You know what we should do?
Ooh, say it.
We should get into it! That's Heather.
That's Steven.
Let's get into
being a 90s kid, part 2. Oh, that was good.
Oh,
we didn't even
That's the best one we've ever done.
We didn't even rehearse that.
Good night.
Goodbye. We're not going to get any better than that.
No.
We set the bar high.
We have peaked. Heather, we are back here going back into the 90s, but before we do,
yes,
tell me about your week.
By the way, you're using your vocal tones. I can tell that you know what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, I know exactly. I'm just ready for you to spill it.
Okay, so I had a great week. I got to perform at one of my favorite places, Estefan's Kitchen. It's such a fun time, so got to do that. Saturday, I did jack shit. I watched WWE had like a premium live event, so like I watched that on the couch. I sat on the patio, but it was too hot because Florida is a fucking oven right now. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's like a wet mouth.
Yes. So Saturday was great. Sunday was great. And so Monday, yesterday, Memorial Day. And so I had the day off. And
brag.
And so got invited to a pool get together. And I was really excited because I was like, yes, a pool. I'm always down for a pool day because I don't have a pool. So I was really excited. Like pool, drinks, food, gossip, all of the above. I was ready. So I packed my little pool bag. I said goodbye to Mama, the cat, and I go into the garage. And typically I have like a whole routine because I'm paranoid like that. So while the garage is closed, I will like put my shit in the car. I will lock the car, start the car while the garage is still closed. And then right as I'm starting the car, I'll open the garage because I have this paranoia that somebody's like waiting outside the garage for me, like knows my pattern, is gonna like run in. It will never
anxiety
happen, hey, so anyway, I was thinking about what I needed to do on the way to this pool party. I was like, okay, I need to stop by this place to get like another bottle, blah blah blah. So as I'm thinking about what I'm doing, I start to back out of my garage, not realizing that the door was still going up, and I just back up and I hear dun, 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 dun.
Can you do that noise one more time?
Oh, dun, 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 dun. And lo and behold, I had hit the door. Luckily, because I was backing out slowly from the garage, it wasn't like, I'm not the type to like back out real fast anywhere I go because people will just like walk behind your car. You just don't know what's behind you. So I never, like, I see people all the time in public like speed out when they're like leaving a parking spot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, take your time. So luckily I was going slow and it left a dent. So I had to wait 3 hours for a repair person. And that was 3 hours. I could have been floating in the pool, nice and buzzy. But instead, I had to sit in my dining room waiting for this repair person because the garage was cracked enough where that like a cat or a daytime raccoon or... There are daytime raccoons.
There are, but usually that's a sign that there's something wrong.
I read that that's not true. I read that that's a myth that daytime raccoons have rabies. It's just that they happen to be out in the day.
On
they
a
were like
sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Because the only one I've ever seen out in the daytime, like daytime,
yeah,
was in the middle of a street, like with all four legs spread out, like wobbling, and just like.
I was gonna say I've seen a daytime raccoon twice. Once at my house, and it was just like doing whatever. Second time was in Delray Beach, and it was at like a botanical gardens, and this raccoon was on top of, it was like a tree or something, and it was going, and everyone was like, look at that raccoon. I was like, that little bitch got rabies because she was screaming. Somebody pissed her. So
that gives me, speaking of the 90s, but we'll get back to that.
Yes.
That what you just did, that impression, is definitely the final scene of the first Sleepaway Camp.
I've never seen Sleepaway Camp. We have to watch it.
We'll explain that later.
Yes. So, so I had to be on garage patrol. So I'm watching, I have like my tablet watching Netflix in the dining room, and every 10 minutes I pause and I go look in the garage. I'm like, okay, there's no creatures.
You couldn't have just put a barrier?
No, because it was the whole length of it would have been too, like, what am I going to get?
Well, anything in your garage, a box,
no.
a
What am I gonna do?
basket,
No, it's like a.
You just
big-
line it across the
I don't
bottom
have that many
of the.
things.
Oh, come on! Everybody has.
And
that
they could
many
like
things.
push it out. So
What you think they superhuman strength?
I
rat?
don't know. Listen, bears open garbage cans. So like, what if a bear can?
Bears are hundreds of pounds.
That's very
Garbage
true.
cans are
A
not
cat's
hundreds
pushing.
of pounds.
That's very true. So anyway, yeah, the person finally came at like 5:30, and I was able to make it to the pool party by 6. But I was so pissed because I've been looking forward to that shit. I was like, it's gonna be good. But luckily, it wasn't a ton of money, and it was not like I'm glad I wasn't speeding or something where I just like Stephanie on Full House. Remember when she crashed the car into the house?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I will never forget that. I just brought it up on my Instagram because I was like, if that had ever happened to me, for those who haven't seen it, there was an episode of Full House where Stephanie, it was like the early days of Full House when like Stephanie was still really little and the twins were babies. And Stephanie was like playing in the car, as I'm sure like all kids do at one point, like, and she somehow turned on the car and like put it into reverse, and she backed into the house, like into the kitchen.
Yeah.
To the kitchen, and she was like, "Oh no, what a mistake, bitch!" Let me tell you something.
I would have ran away.
First of all,
I would have ran away.
oh, I 1,000,000% would have ran away. I would have got my little hobo bag with a stick, and I would have been like, "Well, I'm gonna go live in a new home now." Or my parents would have just dropped me off at the fire station. Like they would have been like, "We know she's 8."
It's never too late to surrender the children.
No, it's not. But like, it's not very realistic because that's like, God, hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage to that. Like the whole kitchen was destroyed, and then the next episode was magically put together again.
Well, yeah, insurance,
Full
bitch. Insurance.
Danny Tanner had that good shit.
Oh my God, he had that.
He had
general.
Not the general.
What is the
General
There's a
Liberty.
jingle from Family Guy that is.
I don't know. Is it make fun of the general?
Yeah, it's like white trash insurance. Something. Here's a penguin. Don't know why. Like something like that.
Limu, emu, and Doug. Have you seen that?
No.
Liberty Mutual has an emu, and they do these commercials where it's like an emu like policeman, and it's the Limu, like Liberty Mutual, the Limu, emu, and Doug. And Doug says like human person.
Oh, I thought the bird was named Doug. I was like,
no,
what
he's
a weird name
Limu the emu. Anyway, so besides me pulling a Stephanie Tanner with my garage, I've had a good week. What about you, Steven?
Well, see, my friends canceled me on brunch yesterday. Hard look at Heather.
Hard look at
Stephanie. Steph. I called her Stephanie. That's
I know,
weird.
you use your full government
Oh
name.
my God, that's right. That's how you know I'm mad. No. But my week has been okay. Like for me, it's just constant work.
Yeah.
And I will say though, yesterday when you did cancel, it inspired me to get a lot of shit done, which is good. And I've even started meal prepping again, which is also great. So I was able to make some really good dinners for the week or lunches for the week. And I, while eating lunch today at work, I was like, this is a good goddamn choice.
I've been packing my lunch for work the last probably 2 or 3 weeks just because I'm tired of the food at our place of employment.
Yes, the same fried shit.
Yeah, and it just makes me feel heavy and gross for the rest of the day. And I eat early. I eat like 11:30, so the whole rest of the day I feel gross and bleh. But I've been packing my own lunches. I do like just like pitas and fruit and like goldfish, and not only is it delicious and filling, but I don't have to like leave my desk to go wait in line and all. Like I just have it right there ready to go. And actually my whole team, we all bring our lunches because we're over.
Yeah, like
we're
that
over
and
it.
the walk right now.
Oh yeah,
especially
hell no.
for those who have to wear like business casual to work.
Yep, no.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
How people and I've been in Florida for 22 years.
Yeah.
22 years. I do not understand how people can work in the summer and wear pants. Like long pants. I see people in jeans.
Yeah.
I start sweating when I look at them wearing jeans.
I have jeans on, and I had to walk to a certain place today for a meeting, and I wanted to die. I was like, this is awful. And the older I get, the worse heat impacts me. Like now, like when I'm in the heat, and it might probably have to do with meds, like I will oversweat. I'll get a headache. I'll get a stomach ache. It's just awful. Like I cannot do the heat. Like
100% on with my meds now that I'm on. Makes me sweat like
that. Yeah. dripping.
Fuck. When I took Adderall for the first time, I have now switched to Vyvanse. Adderall, I was teaching a training and choreo and all the shows, and I look up after like 20 minutes, and I am literally, my shirt is entirely drenched. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah. It's like, I promise it's not me.
I was like, but it is me. Yeah. It just makes it awkward.
I know. So hopefully we don't have sweatiness or garage crashes this week.
Well, no, I'm going to have sweaty.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have garage crashes.
I dance for a living, so that's just going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. All right. So we left off. We were talking about the 90s and being a kid in the 90s. Yep. And so we talked about TV shows. We talked about toys and games.
And
I feel like toys and games could literally be its own episode, though, because there's so many things. Oh, my God.
And I feel like today we're probably going to catch on some because we plan on talking a little bit about technology.
Yeah. We talked about music. And let's see, movies. 90s movies. It's funny because I was thinking about 90s movies the other day, specifically like dramas and romantic comedies, how they all had that weird kind of like, not almost like RuPaul's Drag Race season 1, like soft filter, like Stepmom and The Other Sister, and like all of those movies in that same vein had that weird kind of like soft lighting and like the random pop songs in the movie.
The Vaseline on the lens.
Yeah.
That's the what's your face? Lucille Ball, didn't she come up with the Vaseline on the lens? I think so.
I did not know that.
I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. But I don't know.
Oh, man. But yeah, 90s movies. I feel like...
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, That Thing You Do is my favorite 90s movie.
What year did it come out?
95 or 96.
Now, I remember basically that movie just in name only. I know it was about a band.
Yes.
And I guess they did a thing.
It's just, that's another movie where I can mute it and pretty much say every single line in the movie. And you always associate with the song, That Thing You Do. And while That Thing You Do is a great song, the songs that are in the movie, like Dance With Me Tonight, All My Only Dreams, Little Wild One, all the other songs were like incredible. Like Dance With Me Tonight could have legit, if you had told me that like the Beatles made that song, I would fully believe it. Like it's so good. But yeah, it's essentially about a band in a small town, Erie, PA, and they get signed by this agent played by Tom Hanks, and they make it big. They're a one-hit wonder, literally. And when they first come up with the band name, they're trying to think of something unique, and so they want to call it the Wonders. Like, do you remember that? Yeah. And they called them the Oneaters, and that was like the whole thing. But it's just such a good movie. The ending, it's just like a little perfect like bow on the end to end out the movie. Like the villain gets his comeuppance, and the girl and the guy, literally Guy Patterson, who like Guy Patterson set the bar for me when I first saw that movie. I was like, I want to marry a Guy Patterson because he was like so sweet and super hot, and like the beatnik. They called him like Erie's lone beatnik. So like That Thing You Do, A League of Their Own was another big one for me.
With again Tom Hanks.
Yes, Tom Hanks is just a running thing
in the 90s.
Yeah, and then of course 1997, my freshman year of high school. My life changed because Titanic came out. And in fact, I need to remind myself that when we do the cover art for this episode, I have a picture of me from my sophomore year, because Titanic came out, it was 97. So yeah, I was a freshman and then went into my sophomore year, 98. It was freshman, sophomore year. Either way.
I think it might have been
maybe
because my sister is graduating that year. I don't know.
Yeah, so I had like a knockoff Heart of the Ocean, and it was like this little blue,
full of bubbles.
No, it was like a blue, like whatever blue knockoff, like almost like cubic zirconia. It was like this blue heart
glass
with the thing. Right, it probably was, but it was super pretty. And I remember like telling my mom, I was getting ready to do my school picture, and I was like, I'm gonna wear the Heart of the Ocean in my picture. And she's like, you cannot wear the Heart of the Ocean. And I was like, okay, fine. And I like put it in my pocket. And then when I got to school, I put it on the bathroom. So I think it's my 10th grade picture, and my hair was so long and beautiful, and that's when I was like, I want to cut my hair and be a rebel. And I'm so, God, I don't like why.
Oh, I cannot wait to see this picture.
So my hair is beautiful and long, and I'm smiling in the picture, and then you see like the little Heart of the Ocean. So it's at my mom's house. I gotta like take a picture of it. But Anyway, what are your favorite 90s movies? I know what your number one is.
I mean, well, I don't know. I think I'm actually tied for number one. Because I can't pick.
Yes.
I can't pick a favorite anything.
I know, same. I really can't.
So clearly there's Jurassic Park.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But then also Goofy movie changed me completely.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, Jurassic Park is just iconic. Like, I'm sorry, the whole series, I'm obsessed. I have dinosaurs everywhere. My whole bathroom is done as dinosaurs. I have a T-Rex coming out of the wall. That's my towel rack.
Yes.
I drive a Jeep because of
Jurassic Park. Yes.
Jurassic Park. There's dinosaurs, engine stickers. Just
Literally.
it's bad. And it's like once a dinosaur kid, always a dinosaur kid. And there's also this dinosaur event, and I was going to see if you wanted to go.
Ooh.
It's happening at the Florida Mall.
Oh.
And you can, like, you know how they have the animals that you can drive through the mall? They have dinosaur versions that you can race.
Oh,
we're doing Sunday.
Oh, we should do it.
Do you want a Sunday?
Hell yeah, I want to do it Sunday. I don't have plans on Sunday.
Done.
Oh, we're doing it.
Great. Great.
Well, Sunday's the last day of Hamburger Mary's.
Oh yeah, but
we'll see.
We'll
go to Florida Mall.
We'll see.
And you know what I'm thinking now is that we talked about television, I think, in the last episode, 90s TV. And the one thing that I forgot to mention, and I cannot believe I didn't, was wrestling.
Wait, I don't know if we did talk about TV.
We talked about TV.
Because we didn't talk about Saved by the Bell.
No.
We didn't talk about Full House.
Let's talk TV.
What the fuck did we talk about last week?
We talked about music and games.
Games.
Yes.
And there was another one.
I don't know.
Well, now you're getting more. If we're repeating.
Yeah, so TV, wrestling was like my shit in the 90s. Like WWF, and this was the era with like Bret the Hitman Hart and the Undertaker and like all the gimmicky wrestlers to Chavo. Wasn't Chavo like 2000s though?
No, because I stopped watching by then.
Was he late? Yeah,
he had
you're
to be
right.
Late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
For the viewers who are listening and not on the video, I'm holding up an inflatable Pepe, which was Chavo the wrestler, Chavo Guerrero. His friend and partner is like a little horse on a stick, and Heather went to an event recently and ran into him, and he autographed this motherfucker for me.
And he gave it to me for free. He charged everyone else, and he gave it to me for free.
Like, he was part of my sexual awakening.
I mean, same for me with like Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, no, there's this one video, and I don't know if I can find it because it was found at old school internet way back in the day.
Dial up.
Where he's fighting somebody, and it looks like he's popping a boner and his little Speedo, and
Bret Hart or Chavo Guerrero?
Chavo.
Oh. It's like Bret Hart didn't wear shorts.
And I was like, okay, now I guess I am in love with Matt Latin men, and my taste hasn't changed since.
Yes, and it's so like the way that life works out and just like does a full circle sometimes was that my favorite wrestler growing up, or one of my favorites I should say, was the British Bulldog, and I was obsessed with the British Bulldog, and he did a heel turn, which for those who don't watch wrestling, a heel turn is when a good guy turns bad. Like he'll do something like betray his best friend or like his manager, and it's a big deal. And I remember I loved the British Bulldog, and he had like white man dreads, or not dreads, like braids, cornrows, and he was just so cool to me. And then he turned and he cut his hair, and I remember calling my friend on the phone. I was like, the British Bulldog cut his hair and he turned his back on his manager. And now fast forward to 2024, and the British Bulldog's daughter, Georgia, is like one of my closest friends now. And it's such a weird full circle thing. And I remember I would like get the magazines. I'm like, oh, look, he's got kids my age. And now one of those kids is my friend. It's so weird.
She stayed with you during one of the hurricanes?
She did. Yeah. And we're going to see her in July, and we hang out, and it's just so random.
I was actually sharing day before, whatever, on the apps, on the gay apps or whatever. I was chatting with this guy, and he works for like a PetSmart or something. Ooh. And there was like an adoption event, and I was like, oh, I want to go, and like I want to cuddle all the dogs, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, no, you don't understand, like with me and dogs. And I sent him a picture of Matilda, which is her dog, and just the biggest bulldog, sweet, lovey, slobbery, chunky,
so cute. Sweetest baby.
And I was just like, this is perfect. Like, just love me.
I know,
love me.
Just take her with you.
I wish. Yes, fight me.
So wrestling was big for me in the 90s. My brother and I were big. We had cable, and even though you had the Disney Channel, we didn't really watch the Disney Channel as like 90s kids. It was all Nickelodeon for us. Like we watched Nickelodeon all day.
Hey, dude, salute your shorts.
Yes. Everything that was on Snick.
Global Guts.
All that. I know we talked about Roundhouse. You didn't watch Roundhouse, but we did. trying to think what else. Kenan and Kel, Kablam.
Kablam. Ham
Ren and
Kablamsawa.
Stimpy.
Do you remember what Ham Kablamsawa was?
Wasn't it?
It was the week lineup of, so it was Hey Arnold, and then Ham, the M something. It was like a abbreviation for every day, and Kablam, and then what
came on after Kablam?
Ham Kablamsawa.
Sua, S-U-A-A.
So here's the thing. Kablam was basically Robot Chicken before Robot Chicken was Robot Chicken.
Yes.
And
Prometheus
I feel like it was,
Bob,
my
they were my
God.
favorite.
The little alien
Favorite and the caveman.
Yes, I
But
love them.
Prometheus, Bob was the alien, or Prometheus?
I think Prometheus was definitely the alien.
Now I gotta look. But I remember even as a teenager, I did not like, me and robots, and I did not like Prometheus's voice. It scared me.
Do I have a video to show you later of robots? And I don't know if it's real. I only saw
Prometheus
one.
was the alien, and Prometheus was the alien, Bob was the caveman.
Yes, because we went through a phase of naming everything Bob at that point in my life. But I saw this video the other day, and it was at like a football game, and it was like Hulu, and it was a bunch of like humanoid robots like turning and looking around and stuff. I don't know if it was real, but when I tell you they saw through my soul through the screen, I was like,
Nope.
I'm not usually uncomfortable. What's the girl?
What?
The robot girl. What's up, bitch?
Oh, Megan.
No.
Oh.
Sophia?
Oh, Sophia, who doesn't have a wig.
Yeah.
Spent all that money on that hoe, and they cannot get her a lace front.
Well, why would you want to, you can't put a lace front on a CPU like that.
I mean,
It'll just overheat and she'll shut down.
Listen, I'm bald women, pop off. I wish, my head is so lumpy I couldn't do it. So pop off to Sophia for being a bald girly. However, all of her shit's exposed. So it's like, just put a little
maybe a hat, a visor.
Hat. But she's
a
terrifying.
bucket hat.
I wanted to go see her when she was at that place on I Drive, but it closed in like a day.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't want to go see her now.
I saw this video, and now we're out of the 90s.
We
are.
We're going to get back there. We're going to get back
there. I saw a video because Andy, my roommate, likes to watch a bunch of technology stuff, and they basically set up an AI to talk to an AI.
Oh God!
And they had a full conversation.
Yeah, no.
And it was terrifying. I did not like that at all.
Black Mirror
she was
is
like,
real.
"Hey, do you want to change your reservation?" Yeah, I can totally change that reservation. Is there anything? No, you've been great. They're just going back and forth, and I'm like, I'm useless.
Twilight Zone tried to tell us about this, and
it did.
Yeah,
it did.
So yes, Prometheus and Bob, because Prometheus would be like, and Bob would be like, he'd be like the cave. Oh. Not the caveman, the mummy. Oh, okay, and then 90s TV, Ren and Stimpy.
Oh God. Okay, so first of all, the cartoon section of the 90s is just a fever dream.
It could be its own section, and we literally, my brother and I, got in an argument with my mom last week because we were talking about The Simpsons and Beavis and Butthead, and Mikey was talking about The Simpsons, and my mom was like, yeah, I never let you guys watch any of that stuff, which is true. She did not want us watching The Simpsons or Beavis and Butthead. And Glenn and I were like, Ren and Stimpy, Mom, was way worse. And she's like, no, it wasn't. And we're like, au contraire. Ren and Stimpy was filthy.
I mean, they were basically
they were like lovers.
And did the sawing of the log
we did
on
talk
the back.
About this. We talked about this. I feel like, because I'm getting deja vu because we talked about log, and you're like, log is a euphemism.
Oh,
we talked about this.
Log, it's better than bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Log,
Ren and Stimpy. What else?
So here's the thing. Okay, so you talk about Nickelodeon versus the Disney. So every summer Disney would have a promotional thing, so we would get the channel for a couple of days. So I would get my life gummy bears. Gummy bears, Care Bears. I guess they're all bears.
They're all bears. And then Nickelodeon also had those random cartoons. We did talk about this because now it's coming back to. Oh no, we talked about it with with TV show songs.
Yes.
David the Gnome. Okay, so Nickelodeon had all those random cartoons like David the Gnome, Maya the Bee. There were a couple other ones too.
There was
Castle.
I found finally. I've been talking about
Pinwheel was
this 80s. Cartoon that I used to love watching, and I finally found it, and it's on my phone, which is recording this video right now, so I can't look it up. But it is basically about the magic koalas in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
It was called. Can you look it up really quick? Because there was Blinky and Pinky, and this doll was sent to like a granddaughter, and like she touched not the Noozles.
What is
was
this?
it? Was it the Noozles?
Slinky Bill, the Noozles.
Let me see it. It was the Noozles. Yes, Noozles. Because then that also takes me to oh God, what's it called? Rhinoki and Butterbear and
what the hell?
Huh? There's a cartoon.
That cat.
There's a cartoon. I think maybe it was on Disney as well. It was
I love that cat so much.
It was on Disney as well, but it was like animals that were like mixed together. Type in
Animals mixed together.
Type in Butterbear and Rhinoki.
Butterbear and Rhinoki.
I know everybody listening to this right now is yelling the name.
It says Butterbeer. No, it's not Butterbeer.
Bear.
Butterbear.
Because she was part bear, part butterfly.
Oh my God.
Rhinoki was part rhinoceros, part monkey.
The only thing that pulled up is that a black bear was rescued from downtown Roanoke and was euthanized.
No. Do cartoon.
Butterbear cartoon.
Cartoon.
Butterbear God damn it. Not. It keeps going to Butterbeer. The Wuzzles.
The Wuzzles. Yes. That's why I was getting confused. It was too close to the Noozles. Whatever.
Yes, I do remember.
But
okay, I remember.
Those were amazing. I love them. And then I guess they're at the same time as the Popples.
Yeah, the Popples.
Which were little stuffed animals that turned into different sports
they
balls.
Folded, yeah. And do you remember the Littles? It was like the little
elf creatures that lived in the wall.
Yes. Yeah. When I had my short stint of living in LA, I was so like legit the brokest I've ever been in my entire life.
So that was the size apartment you had? No. You lived in a light socket?
No, I actually lived in a nice condo, but I had a TV that only got 2 channels, and it was always like random like religious programming, and then this random like almost like UPN, and the Littles would come on every weekend on like this marathon, and I would sit in my room broke as fuck eating Crunch and Munch for dinner, and went, we are the Littles, and I'm like, must be nice to have money to be a little. I'm eating Crunch and Munch.
When I moved into my first apartment outside of the college program,
yes,
I went to Target to get something, and I got sucked in by the credit card. So I was like, you know what? DVDs are a new thing. Let me get one of those. Oh, God. So I got a DVD player, and then basically me and my roommate watched over and over again Monsters Incorporated and Lilo and Stitch, just on repeat.
Speaking of that thing you do, when I lived by myself downtown, I always have to have something on when I go to sleep. I cannot sleep in dead ass silence because I know y'all are going to hear this or see this and think that I'm psychotic, but I can't have silence because then like I'll hear. That's when like it's like the ghost hour. Like I'll just like either someone will be like Heather, or I'll like it's just weird. They try to talk to me when it's quiet.
I have the opposite similar problem. Like I have to have something on because my brain won't shut the fuck up.
I was gonna say there's that too because I'll be like nice and quiet. And it'll be like, remember that time in 3rd grade when you told that kid he smelled homeless and he cried? And then I feel bad.
It's not even. See, my brain works in such a way that it'll start thinking about one thing and it's having a conversation, and then I start worrying about I'm never going to fall asleep if I keep having this conversation, and then it goes on to a third. Like I'll have like 7 different things going on in my head at once, and you would think that would be exhausting enough, but it's not.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I have to have something on when I sleep, whether it's a fan. I typically sleep now with a Bluetooth headband, so it's a double thing where it covers your eyes and you can hear music while you're sleeping. But anyway, I would put on that thing you do every single night to put myself to sleep. So I always knew like the opening song and like certain parts of the movie. So like for 3 years, every single night, unless I had the company of a gentleman caller, I would put on that thing you do every single night. That was like my comfort movie. God. That's probably why I know every single word, because it was like embedded in my brain.
That tracks.
So the 90s, back to TV. So we talked about cartoons and everything, but the 90s had like jam sitcoms. Like there will never ever be anything like 90s sitcoms ever again.
Let me test you.
Yes.
I always say I was raised by 3 different television shows in the 90s.
Okay.
What are they?
I know one for sure is Designing Women.
Yep.
Rescue 911.
No.
Unsolved Mysteries.
That's another one that I love.
We need to put a pin in Unsolved Mysteries and Rescue 911 because Rescue 911 traumatized me in multiple ways.
See, I don't think I ever watched Rescue 911.
It's why I'm scared every time I brush my teeth, because there was an episode where a kid was running around with a toothbrush and he tripped and it got lodged in the back of his throat.
Well, he should work on his gag reflex.
But the mom called 911. They're like, do not take out the toothbrush because he'll like hemorrhage to death because it was blocking. So this kid had, and the actor they had playing the kid was just like screaming. And my brother and I were so traumatized by it. We're like, and even now, I swear to God, my little electronic toothbrush, I'm always like, I'm not moving.
Come on, Quip.
Quip.
Sponsor us.
God. Okay, so designing women.
One you already mentioned.
The Simpsons.
Yep.
Okay, and
a third one is somebody who's been canceled.
Oh yeah, Roseanne.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Those are the 3 TV shows that basically raised me to be the person I am today.
See, I feel like the Spice Girls raised me. The Spice Girls were like my lifeblood. I didn't really have I'm trying to think if there was a TV show that like raised me. Not really. I watched a lot of adult TV. Like In Living Color was really popular in my house. Martin was really popular. Living Single. So I watched a lot of adult shows when I was a kid.
Too.
I also loved soap operas. So like Passions and Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives I watched in the 90s.
Yeah.
Only when Marlena was possessed by the devil. And then when she got unpossessed, I was like,
nope. But Days of Our Lives and all the soap operas kind of at the time went through this like teen phase because they knew that kids like me were watching. And so they would have, you think about a soap opera and typically it's like The Company or like We're All in the Town Square and somebody got murdered. But Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, I think even Young and the Restless.
Babysitter.
The Monkey. Oh my God. But Days of Our Lives had a great teen storyline, which almost took over all the adults. So they had like this whole group of teens all at Salem High.
Oh, this is after I stopped watching.
Yes. And so that was when like Jensen Ackles, who's on Supernatural now, you would know his face if you saw him. Jensen Ackles was on the show. There was someone else who got really famous. I can't remember. But they had their whole teen storyline and then Passions came along. So, like, I was obsessed. I would tape it every day, and I'd come home from school.
For those who are listening, taping is when you would take a blank VHS and you would record it from the television. Yep. You had to be precise or you'd fuck it up.
You sure did. And you had to, like, always do it a little bit after because sometimes it would run over.
Yeah.
Or, like, if there was...
You had to do before and after.
Yes. And sometimes there would be, like, a news event that would happen, and it would interrupt. And
if you had a power outage and your VCR went to 000, you ain't getting your show.
Boo.
I am from the age of the VCR where we had a remote.
Yes.
But it was wired.
Oh, damn. We had a TV in our... Okay, I thought I turned off the mic. We had a TV in our first house that was like the old school where it was like the dial, like you turn on and you had like the dial.
You had like all 12 channels. Click, 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 click. Yep. I had one of those too.
And then I remember thinking how cool it was because my mom and dad in their master bathroom got a TV that was like maybe the size of your laptop. It was like this little black and white TV.
I'm sorry, they had a TV in the bathroom.
But it was 90s? Literally like, it was super small. And it was a black and white screen, and you had to like rotate a dial to get the channels.
No, see, that to me is still fancy. It reminds me of the time when we came down to Disney.
Yeah.
And my parents, my dad had a quote unquote luxury van, which just basically means the middle row has 2 independent seats, and then you had the one in the back, and it had that mood lighting on the top. But they had a hookup for a television.
Oh.
I mean, it didn't have a television, but you could hook up a television. And they borrowed it, and then we played VHSs, and I thought we were hot shit watching like a 5x6 screen for 12 hours.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so television's like I think we went over everything. And like
we hit all the channels.
We did all the channels. But yeah, no, 90s sitcoms are great. I used to love like Evening Shade.
Is there any
Empty Nest?
Anything? Oh God, I loved Empty Nest and I loved Wings.
And remember Empty Nest had a spinoff called Nurses, and I loved Nurses too. So I loved all those like shows, and I always found myself drawn to the gay man characters, and that's explains so much.
That's why we're here today. I'm the gay man character.
Like, remember, did you ever watch Evening Shade with Burt Reynolds? No. And the guy, he played Mr. Noodle on Sesame Street, Michael Jeter. And have you seen The Green Mile?
We talked about this last week.
Yes.
No,
it's
been a long time. I have seen it, but it's been like
he was in the
years.
Green Mile. He was the one that got electrocuted and it was terrible. You would know him. He's been in a bunch of shit. And he was like this Southern gay man, and he was like bald and had like red hair and a mustache, and he talked like this. Was he on Designing? Hold on. I feel like he might have been on Designing Women at one point.
I feel like she just announced my future, minus the accent.
Designing Women. Oh my God. Why? It said Michael Cheater. We're not even going to look at that. Anyway.
We're doing great.
We're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Anyway, okay. So TV. Anything else with TV?
Oh, God. I'm trying to think.
Oh, I just remembered. When I would go to school in the morning, there were two things I would watch religiously, like for years, like through elementary school 90s, middle school 90s. Because I think, yeah, that's weird to think about that we did elementary, middle, and high school all in the 90s. Yeah. Because elementary school, 1990 was first or second grade, and then middle school, and then, high school until 99.
Wow. And then we graduated 2001.
Yes. Oh, my God. What was I going to say? Okay. Oh, yeah. The two things I watched in the morning. It was always either the Saved by the Bell movie where Zach and Kelly got married, where they went to Vegas. Every time, this is so random, but every time I eat Eggo cinnamon toast waffles, which I love, I'm instantly taken back to 6th grade. And I would wake up, like I had to be at school like 8, and I would wake up at 5:30. And I would take a shower so no one else would bother me. And I wasn't rushed by my brother because we shared a bathroom. So I'd get up early so I could have my shower time. And then I would go downstairs and make my little Eggo waffle breakfast by myself and come back up the stairs. And in my room, I would sit in the bed and watch the Saved by the Bell movie all the time. And then I would get dressed and go to school. It was I was like a little adult.
Yeah, you were. Because I was like, my parents are dragging me out of the bed by the feet.
No, I was like, because my brother would take showers forever. And I'm like, I'm not waiting for him. I would rather wake up early.
He was masturbating.
And then Stephen.
Love you, Glenn. I derailed this podcast.
If anyone would like to be a host of a podcast with somebody who betrays
I'm going to need a new stand-in because she's going to be in therapy.
Anyway, I wanted my time to myself. So I would either watch...
So did he. Okay, keep going.
I'm so glad you find this music. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Saved by the Bell, or I'd watch CMT. In the morning, country music television. Yes, because I loved the music videos, like Faith Hill, Leanne Rimes. Oh my God, so many Lila McCann, Alicia Elliott, Martina McBride, all of these incredible singers. I'd watch all their videos. The Wilkinsons, like I was obsessed with CMT. Dixie Chicks.
I never had enough time. Yeah.
And then like MTV.
Oh God, MTV, TRL.
Spring Break. I wanted to be Spring Break so bad.
Okay, so another part of my sexual awakening. I used to do like all kinds of creepy, like just wear a whipped cream bikini and all this stuff. And I'm like,
Or there's a performance where like NSYNC is at the Spring Break, wherever they're at, and we're doing a fashion show at the same time. So while they're singing Tearing Up My Heart, these girls are modeling swimwear. And of course, Justin Timberlake, because he's fucking Justin Timberlake and trash, he's like stalking this girl, and you can tell she's trying to walk, and he's like, and you're like,
oh, I remember that song.
Go sit down, Justin. We talked about Saved by the Bell very briefly, but I think that's the show that raised me. I feel like if I had to name a TV show that kind of raised me, it was Saved by the Bell.
See, I couldn't relate to I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I couldn't relate to it. Because when I was that age, they basically seemed like senior citizens.
Oh my, no, I thought Lisa Turtle was so cool because I loved seeing black girls that weren't
she was probably one of the first major black girls in a TV show, and she wasn't stereotypical.
Yep.
She was the rich, fancy, popular, pretty, everybody loved
Lisa
her,
Turtle.
Smart. Lark Voorhees.
God, she's
going
going through it. But she did make an appearance on the new Saved by the Bell, which, have you seen it yet?
I have.
I need to rewatch it actually now that I think about it.
So I felt great about it because of the trans character that was in it. I was like, oh my God, like this is what I imagine. And again, I work with kids a lot today.
Yeah.
And they're so fucking open-minded.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if I should say this, but my kids, when I say my kids, my students.
Yes.
they talk out of their assholes, and they don't care who's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And so yesterday we were picking out costumes because final recitals is next week, and I was like, all right, you need this, find this. And then they're like, oh, we've made a new family. You know, like when you're young and you're like, you're the dad, you're the mom, you're the baby. And they kept going, well, you're the gay aunt. You're the gay aunt. And it didn't bother any single one of them.
Where we were kids, we'd be like, no, I'm not. And it would have been like really toxic,
But I don't know for sure, but it's come up many times.
Yeah.
And I think it happens, but one of my, I think more than one of my friends.
Yeah.
But it's so nice to see younger generation not give a fuck.
They really don't. I love that. Saved by the Bell raised me, and today at work I was listening. I'm like working on my stuff, and I switch between Spotify and YouTube, and so I have like a YouTube playlist I'll just let play. And so I wasn't paying attention to which list it was, and I have like a playlist on YouTube that's like random shit, like things I'm like, oh, this commercial from when I grew up in Connecticut, I'm gonna save that to watch later. So I'm sitting at my desk doing my thing, and then you hear dun, 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 dun. I'm the baby, gotta love me. Dinosaurs.
Let's talk about the most depressing finale ever.
They all froze to death. Even
they all were watching the news, seeing the comment come.
Yeah.
And they're like,
well, shit.
And good night.
Oh my god.
And to this day, it hits me and it hurts.
I know. And it's funny because I stopped in my tracks when I heard that song, and I was like, oh my god, like I totally forgot about it. And there's one point in the song where Baby talks about electrocuting one of his parents, and he's like,
well, it's gotta be
probably the dad. He
definitely.
Always fought his dad.
Sinclair.
Yeah. And he was like, dun, dun, light up like a Christmas tree. And I was like, wait a second, hold the phone. Light up like a Christmas tree? You're a dinosaur. Jesus was not around yet. There was no Christmas. I was like, that's
maybe
an oversight.
Christmas was a city and it's a tree like Christmas, Florida.
The baby. In fact, when I make a video,
those are all Christmas trees.
When I make a video for this, that's gonna be the ending. I'm the baby, gotta love me. Big purple eyes and very cuddly.
I love the grandma because she reminded me of my great grandma, minus she didn't spit on people and say racist things.
The dinosaur grandma or your real?
Oh, well, my grandma did the real thing. Like,
I was like, when was the grandma dinosaur?
No, remember she was in like the little ECV wheelchair. She'd be like, oh my God, I'm coming a lot. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. Ethel. Was her name Ethel? She looked like an Ethel.
She did look like an
Ethel.
Ethel.
Remember they had like the hot teenage dinosaur son, Robbie?
Loved his jacket. Still do to this day. Come on, Letterman.
Robbie could get it.
Robbie could get it. Do you remember when, oh God, what was the girl's name? Charlene. Was she put on a fake tail? It's like the equivalent of stuffing your bra.
Oh, that's right, because she had the little nub.
She ordered it from the mall or from the mail or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, look. And she's like knocking all the shit over. And
I need to rewatch. I legit have not seen dinosaurs in probably like 30 years. I need to rewatch it.
Let me tell you, Jim Henson.
That's right, it was Jim Henson.
Jim Henson shit is timeless. It doesn't matter when you watch it. Any Jim Henson, anything that you watch from the start to now looks relevant and current.
And now that I remember, the voice of the baby was the same voice as Elmo. Kevin Clash. I think there is the baby. God, such a great. I love that song.
Before or after the controversy?
It was before the controversy. Yeah, I feel like we could literally do 90s. Maybe we'll do an episode one day about 90s TV because like we could literally go on for like hours with 90s
days TV. And years.
Yes.
And
all right, 90s TV going once, 90s TV going twice.
Okay, I want to segue into no. I want to segue into because it came up a little bit earlier, but like not necessarily like technology. Like electronic devices that you played with.
Okay.
Did you have anything that you were like, wow, this is the coolest shit ever?
I had it was like a typewriter. It was this flat computer thing, and you would turn it on, and it had like different games in it, and like geography. So like that was my jam for a little bit.
That's not a game. Geography, that's homework.
I know, but it was like all these things like spelling, geography, name that. It was like all this. I wish I could remember what it was.
Educational toy.
Yes. I loved keyboards. Like we had a Casio keyboard that was my jam. And I am making a confession right now that I always am very embarrassed about. So the main Casio we had growing up had 15 built-in songs. And it was songs like
you're a grand old flag.
Yeah, like those
you're
basic
a
songs.
flying
But
flag.
this one had pop songs. And so one of the songs it had was Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles. So it would be like, and you'd play the song, whatever.
Obla-dee,
So
obla-da.
another song they had on the keyboard was a classic 80s jam,
Green
holiday
sleeves.
jam. It
had green sleeves. I know it did.
The Casio keyboard, in fact, did have green sleeves.
Because mine had green
sleeves. It had green sleeves. But this keyboard had Last Christmas by Wham. So, and I'll never forget, it was like, doot, 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 doot.
Is it the one that light up, like, so you hit the keys so you can play along?
I wish.
Oh.
But I will tell you, I did not know that Last Christmas was a real song until I was like 15. I thought that it was a Casio original because I never heard Last Christmas.
She said Casio original.
I thought it was.
Signed Casio.
I had never heard Last Christmas.
Top of the Billboard charts.
I had
Casio.
never heard it. I had never heard it on the radio because it wasn't like now where Christmas is cool and Magic 107.7 starts playing Christmas music in like July.
I'm sorry. Was Christmas not cool growing up for you?
But you didn't hear it on the radio 24/7 where I grew up. Like you would hear Christmas songs on like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but they were playing like Michael Jackson and shit right up until like New Year's Eve. Then they'd play like 24 hours of Christmas music and then right back to normal.
Which is weird on New Year's Eve.
I'm sorry, not New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve. But no, I had never heard Last Christmas on the radio until I was in high school and heard it somewhat like in a store. And I was like, that's the Casio song. And whoever I was with was, I think it was like a little friend, like, just. That's what. Let me see. All right, you tell me about technology. Hold on, let me look really quick.
So one of my favorite things that I had, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was like this little magic tablet thing that you could plug into the TV.
Ooh, okay.
And then you could draw and color and animate things. It was like a magic something.
Yes.
And that was my fucking jam.
Gosh,
like
it?
I remember like being able to animate a wizard going, oh, and you could like paint them in different colors. And there was a bunch of different games and things.
Ooh, so obviously there's like Sega Genesis and stuff, and
Nintendo.
Sega Genesis had a game called Art Alive, and you essentially would like just paint on the screen. It would be like a blank canvas, or you could like color and fill in things. And they had like characters you could color, like Sonic the Hedgehog or Toe Jam and Earl. And I had like put that in the recesses of my brain forever until I was at like a GameStop or something with Jason and they had it on sale. And I was like, holy fuck, Art Alive. I completely forgot about it. But that shows you the kind of nerd I was because I did not want to play like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter because my brother would whoop my ass every time. But I was like, Art Alive, I'm going to make Toe Jam and Earl going through a field. Like, and then what do you do with it?
Do you know what my jam game was?
What?
PlayStation, the first one.
Oh,
no extra numbers.
If you say what I think you're going to say, I am going to be so happy.
What do you think it is?
Parappa the Rapper?
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh, you've never heard of Parappa the Rapper?
Nope, never heard of that.
Okay, you tell me your game, and then we're putting a pin in Parappa the Rapper because that was a staple in my childhood. Okay.
So, so the game that got like, okay, so at one point
yes.
we had a den and we had a living room,
uh-huh.
right? So the living room was technically in the front of the house. The den was in the back.
Uh-huh.
So we had the Nintendo in the living room.
Okay.
And that was basically just for us kids.
Yeah.
Whatnot. But then at some point we got the PlayStation,
mm-hmm.
and my dad at the time was like, "I'm gonna put this in my room."
Why?
So because he wanted to play it.
No, Dad.
So yeah, so
Not
he
for
put
you.
the PlayStation in his room.
Uh-huh.
And me, my brother, and him would constantly be battling for the champion of Cool Borders 3. Which is a snowboarding game.
God.
We never played the first one. We never played the second one. We found the third one, and we were all obsessed.
Oh, my God.
Like, we used to try to, like, outstun each other and get the highest score, and my dad was a competitive motherfucker.
Okay. So, Parappa the Rapper, let me tell you about this game. It was for PS1, I believe.
I believe we just call it PlayStation.
it right. So Parappa was this dog. And
was he purple?
No, he was like beige color. He had black ears and he had a little hat on. And so you essentially had to like hit the buttons. It's almost like Dance Dance Revolution where you had like hit the buttons. And so the challenges would start off easy. It would be like chop, chop, chop. Do. And so his like sensei, he had like a sensei the entire time, like a little, like a splinter, so to speak. And it was an onion, and his name I think was Master Onion. And he would be like kick, chop, kick. And then the very end, if you beat the game, there's this music video. Dun, 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 I gotta believe. I'll show you later, but I'm sure y'all have to, like, I know that some of y'all listening to this or watching this, Parappa the Rapper, like what was the one? Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, there's Parappa the Rapper, and then I loved computer games too when I was a kid, like actual computer games,
like Oregon Trail,
like the Oregon Trail, but
Number Munchers,
and Word Munchers, munch all the nouns. Well, I'm fucked. And jump, which are not nouns. I loved Microsoft Flight Simulator. Did you ever play this? You would be like a commercial plane, like flying it.
No.
And I would like crash it every single time. And it was terrifying because like you would go to crash it and it'd be like, where all the alarms would go off and it'd be like, evacuate the plane. And I would always, Microsoft, and it's still around, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I feel like I've seen a version of that, but much later in life.
But yeah, Oregon Trail was like, wait.
So no. Okay. So middle school.
Yes.
4th through 6th, where I'm from.
Middle school was 4th through 6th for you?
We had middle school, and then we had junior high, which was at the same high school as high school.
Oh my God, that is weird.
We would have like once. No, I don't want to say once a month, like once a semester at the computer lab, and where we would play Number Munchers and Oregon Trail.
Once a semester?
And no, we'd go weekly, 1 day a week. But
okay.
Once a semester, they'd be like, "All right, you guys can design and make banners and printouts."
Oh, that was the best.
And so we'd be like, "Yes, I want to make a birthday sign. Whose birthday? I don't know yet."
Like the MTV logo.
Yeah, you like pick all the clip art out, you put it on there, and then you wait 30 minutes while it goes through a dot matrix printer. It's
out of ink, Mrs. Stanley.
And then you have to peel off the little edges, and then you fold them into the little crinkly cut little foldy thing that you do.
There's a company that I love called Vacation, and they make like perfume and sun products, very like high end, and I am obsessed with it. And so their marketing campaign is all like 90s and 80s throwback stuff. So like their ads are like girls in like the high cut swimsuits. It's amazing. So I ordered from them for the first time like 2 or 3 years ago. And when I got my order in the mail, it was on that dot matrix paper to go with the whole theme. And I was like, this is incredible. Like it came in a little bag. You open it and it had like the holes you could rip off on the side and like the dot matrix. I was like, how did they do this?
I did have some of that paper up until probably the past 2 years.
We all have it somewhere. Rip off, you like fold it so it's a nice clean tear, and like.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Well, that's right, because you had to wind it in. There were little spikes on the thing, and
that's what made it go through. Yeah, it would rotate through.
And our first computer was at IBM Tandy, as in like Tandy.
Yeah.
And the only game it had was Hangman. And I would play
That's
Hangman all day.
For a black
it
family.
Sure is not. But I used to play Hangman all the time, and we also had an
Atari.
What was that noise?
I think it's a motorcycle.
Oh, I was like,
and Peacock screaming at the
ATV.
motorcycle.
Okay. We also had an Atari, so.
But I think that's more 80s.
Yeah, you're right. The Atari.
Like, I feel like we phased that out with the Nintendo.
But we played it in the 90s because it still worked.
I mean, yeah, we did too.
Yes. But no, you're right. Atari and Nintendo's kind of.
Did you have a favorite Atari game?
Yeah, Ghostbusters, by far. It was
what
the best.
privilege. Oh my God, I didn't have that one.
We only have 3 games, though. We had Pong. No, it might have only been 2 games. We had Pong. We had Ghostbusters and something else, but we were obsessed with the Ghostbusters game. That Ghostbusters game was the ghetto. If you look at it now, it's like
No, the ghetto is the ET Atari game, which I have the ET tank top from that, from the original where they like dug it out of the dumpster or whatnot. My favorite game for the Atari was there was this game where there was two people stick people, of course, and they had guns, and they had to shoot each other, but the wall would like rotate through, so you had to like chip away at it. Nobody ever remembers that. That was my fucking jam.
God. Okay, so we were talking about electronics because like I didn't get a cell phone until I was like 18.
No, I got one like honestly, I think the day before I graduated high school, which I was 17 because I graduated. My birthday's in July or whatnot. But I got a pager. We talked about that from the radio station. There was I was just about to say something technology wise. It was like,
it was a cell phone.
It wasn't a cell phone. It was no. My mom had the car phone, like the full little battery pack thing. Like
we had one. Like my dad had a nicer car at one point, and it had a car phone. We were not allowed to touch it because if you picked up the call, it was like
it would start charging you. Yes, it's like my mom used to get so mad. Like we're calling her mom. Are you almost home?
Yep. It would be like only for emergencies, which like never use it.
Never.
And that's how airplanes used to be too. Remember the phone that would be on the airplane, like in the seat?
I was not on an airplane until I was 18 or 19.
But you don't. I swear they had it until like at least the late 90s, where like the seat in front of you
I would
have like
been,
a pull-out phone.
I was living as an adult in Orlando during that time.
Hold on.
I was not the 90s when I was 18 or 19. No. I think I knew what you're talking about just based on movies or whatnot.
Okay, let's see here.
What privilege.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's what it looked like.
Oh, no. That looks like a fucking calculator.
Yeah. And you would like pull it out of the seat and wait, this says here. Oh, it's because this is what people used in 9/11 to call people. And that's what you missed.
Wow.
God. Anyway,
this
technology.
Is an uplifting.
That's not funny.
Anyway. One of my favorite things from the 90s, Tamagotchis.
Didn't we talk about Tamagotchis?
We did briefly.
Yeah, because I told you I had a koala.
But,
yes.
But it's also still technology. So
it was because it was advanced.
Like I remember Helena, ex-girlfriend, for like a week or something. I don't know. She had one of the first flip phones, and we were like, "Oh, bitch! You have it." But she was our first computer was a Gateway, but we were late in life. She had one, and I immediately thought, and this is how I should have known I was gay. I was like, "Oh, you have a computer? Great. Can you change my hair color to look like it's red, like orange?" Just thinking like that was so easily done, and she's like, "In Paint."
Like, oh my God.
Pixel by pixel? No. I was like, I had no idea what computers could do. Oh my God.
Because like LimeWire and all that shit came out. That was like more 2000.
It's late, yeah.
But I do remember this was like 97 or 98 was when the internet was really starting to become like a big thing. And so we got internet in our house.
AOL.
Yes. We had internet in our house. And,
what was your first AOL screen name?
Leia Spice. Like Princess Leia and Spice Girls. It was just Leia Spice and no one else had it. And I was like, yes.
Mine was CSIG6, which stands for Casper Stephen Arthur Johnson VI, because that was a nickname I had in high school.
Yeah, I was Leia Spice, but then I changed out a bunch of times because I was doing the free trials, so I had to change my name I couldn't keep. Like,
no, that's when you would register it with the AIM Independent, and then
AIM came out after AOL,
well, though. True.
And that's when I was a Divas Life for me, number 4. But I remember downloading like the Spice Girls official website at the time, which was like a brand new thing, having a website. They had a screensaver you could download. And I'll never forget, it was Super Bowl weekend. And my parents had all these people at the house. And I was like, guys, please don't because I think I can't remember if it would have tied up the phone line.
Well, yeah, if you picked up the phone line, it would stop the download.
Yes, it was something like that. And
it was dial-up, bitch. Dial-up.
This shit took, I kid you not, it had to be 2.5 days to download.
Yeah, just wait until you tried to download your first porn.
And then when it finally downloaded, it was like extra glitchy. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
But at the same time, you were like, yay!
I know, right? Spice Girl.
You're like, this is the epitome. Like now we're like, no, this hurts my eyes.
I can't, if something downloads for more than like a minute, I'm like, no, I don't want it. If it's like a really big file, I'm like 60 seconds. Ooh, get out of here.
Spoiled.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're at an hour already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're not doing part 3, y'all. We'll save that for another day.
I was gonna say part 3.
What maybe?
What didn't we talk about?
We didn't talk about pop culture events.
Okay, we'll each do one pop culture event and then end it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, okay.
But besides OJ.
Oh, God damn it.
No, you can do OJ.
No, it's okay. I'll do something besides OJ because I've talked about OJ like 4 times in this podcast.
Yeah. Again, my favorite thing ever, and I have seen so many different movies and versions. Tanya Harding. Tanya, the new one. But all of like the old made for TV movies. Yes. I used to be obsessed as a kid. I'd be like, and then Tanya came out as an adult, and I like when you talk about comfort movies, like that's going to sleep. Movies? Oh my God, yes, it's absolutely.
I need to I've never seen Tanya.
Bitch, you're not leaving this house. I'm gonna cook dinner, and you're gonna watch fucking Tanya.
I need to go home.
Oh my God,
I do want to watch it.
It's got Allison Janney in it. It's got
Margot Robbie. I know.
Margot Robbie, and then other people.
And other people.
There's the lady who's the coach was one of the Who's in How the Still Christmas live action.
Oh, okay.
I don't know people's names. I don't know how to tell you. Like,
I haven't started anything new really recently besides that Expedition Hell show. Have you watched it yet? No. I'm just saying in general, like rewatching. Like you say, that's your comfort movie. I've been rewatching like Ryan Murphy shows, and so like I just finished. I've watched Ratchet probably 4 or 5 times.
I have not finished it at all. I've watched 1 episode.
But there is an episode with marionettes, and I have to fast forward past it because it's terrifying. I just rewatched Ratchet. I just literally this morning finished Hollywood. Have you ever seen Hollywood?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen
it. Hollywood is good. Like the acting is solid, but it is absolutely preposterous. Like it's about basically like gay people on the red carpet in the 1930s, 40s, and black women.
So murdered?
Leads. Oh my God. No, but it's like it's shit that while it's so lovely to see it portrayed on the screen, it would have never ever happened. But anyways, there's that. And then I just started, I have next to my queue, I'm going to start American Horror Story Hotel again because it's the only franchise I haven't watched again.
That one is good. I like that one. Yeah. But I've been actually rewatching Black Mirror. I put that on. We talked about it and it was like,
season, yes. But Black Mirror was kind of like the first season was great. I think it's the second or third one was the one that was like knock out the park.
There's a lot of shows that have highs and lows.
Yeah.
And so I just take it with a grain of salt, and then I just keep going. But again, my going to sleep show is Family Guy or Bob's Burgers. But I've probably seen Family Guy 5,000 times.
Mine is always wrestling pay-per-views because like WrestleMania is 4 hours long. So I'll start it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll fall asleep, and I wake up, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm halfway there. Okay, main event. And then I'll close my eyes. And so like I'll start with like WrestleMania 2024. And sometimes I'll sleep so long. It's like WrestleMania 21. And I'm like, oh, I slept for a very long time. So that's my comfort when I can't find anything else. That or Drag Race on Pluto TV.
Drag Race definitely is also one. But here's the thing though, and I've seen them all so many times. Yeah. I get so invested so my brain doesn't turn off. Family Guy, and it's like
I've seen it everything 55 million times and you're still like, wow.
I think what it is I know so many of the Drag Race girls is that I have more of a connection. Like I don't know any of the Family Guy people.
You don't know Meg Griffin? I do.
I know. Shut up, Meg. Oh my God.
Well, that was the 90s.
Well, there's still a lot more to go with the 90s.
So we might revisit this. Oh yeah.
We've reached our limit for the day.
Yeah, friends.
We will find other ways to talk about this.
Oh yeah, we will definitely.
But I want to put this out here right now. Is we've talked about upcoming episodes coming up. One of them is going to be advice. So submit your questions. Please make them ridiculous. Yes. Don't make them serious.
And I was thinking about doing, you know how like on Instagram they'll do that thing. It's like NGL, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Where it's anonymous and people are like, say something about me. First of all, I think that's so fucking stupid for people to be
attention.
Like,
tell me I'm pretty.
I don't give a fuck what
tell
people
me
like.
Pretty.
I don't care. But like, I have a friend who literally does it probably once every 2 weeks, and it's like, come on now. Anyway,
they're bored.
Yeah. maybe we could do, like anonymous advice. And so if y'all are having like relationship problems or work problems or familial problems with your family, we have the answers.
Or you don't know what to watch on Netflix. How do you get rid of your methy neighbor?
That part.
How do you get your dog to stop shitting in your coffee cup? We can answer all of that.
Did that really happen?
No.
I was going to say, I was like, what?
The methy neighbor did.
She
took care of herself.
She did. Pour one out from, hold on.
Waste not, want not. Not on my carpet.
I wasn't going to pour. You think I'm going to pour out alcohol? Out of your mind. So yeah, we'll do our advice column, and then we were also talking about perhaps after that doing a guilty pleasures episode.
Guilty pleasures.
And guilty pleasures can go all over the place.
It can go from food. I, Tanya, is a guilty pleasure.
Food,
it could be
TV,
places.
It could be
activities.
Yes.
Nail polish.
Yes. My obsession.
Heroin.
My obsession with smooth jazz. I love smooth jazz. That's not smooth jazz.
I know, but
Kenny
that's
G.
what my
Pure
guilty pleasure is. Absolutely. Any Gregorian chant.
Oh yeah. We should do Pure Moods. I think we talked about that before. We should do Pure Moods episode.
I think we should write original lyrics to every song on Pure Moods.
Instead of sail away, stay away, stay away, sail away. Stay away, stay away. Stay out my yard under an Orinoco flow.
Yeah, but maybe actual words at that last part.
What was the other one? The
oh my God. All right, kids, on this note, we are going to say farewell.
Until next time, friends. Follow us on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. Subscribe. Leave 5 stars. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your cellmates in jail. Everybody.
My God. If you're in jail, please send us some kind of mail.
Please.
Like, I know.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. Well, okay. God, what time is it? Oh, no. So, short story.
Yes.
The guy who used to cut my lawn when he was a teenager is now in jail for like 35 years.
Oh, God.
So, Sean, if you're listening.
Sean.
After he was in jail, he sent us like letters and he would draw like Care Bears and different characters and Tinkerbell and well, he also at one point, because he was our lawn boy, would ask to borrow our mower.
For what?
To go mow other lawns to make money. And Andy, being the kind person that he is,
absolutely not.
And he lived just a few houses down.
Did he steal that lawnmower?
He did. He pawned it.
I mean, have you not watched Intervention before?
Well, he's in jail now, so. Anyway. So till next time,
hide
friends.
Your lawnmower.
Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your lawnmowers.
Bye.
So, the fuck are we doing?
I have no idea. Oh my God. Chelsea.
Because in the video that I made, it's like a little robot that says Chelsea.